guys. It's great to be here. Thanks for the introduction, for the kind introduction. No pressure at all. We're going to switch now to English a little bit. The only thing I remember of German is das Leben ist kein Ponyhof. So that's the only thing I really remember from my time in Germany. But today we're going to talk about something very special. We're going to talk about the use case we had last year of one of our portfolio companies. We went all the way from 1 million to 20 million in basically a time frame of 1 year. Yeah, we did this by adjusting and really harnessing the power of the product market fit KPIs. These are 4 KPIs, and building a content machine. Yeah, so I'm going to talk all over the presentation again, over and over, that if there's one thing I want you to get out of it is, if there is no amazing content, there are no amazing results. No matter which channel, which structure, whatever you do, if you don't have amazing content to really push your companies forward, you will not have amazing results. Yeah? So my mission today is just leave you with one idea, one spark, something you can do tomorrow, next week, and maybe can get your business to a next level. A little bit of intro. There was a lot of intros already, but I'll just summarize. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm a founder. I'm a VC and a partner at Jump Ventures. I'm a Brazilian international, so I was born and raised in Brazil, but I've traveled and spent now almost half of my life away from Brazil. I'm an adventure seeker, so that's why I like to be exposed to new things, new people, new environments, and that took me to my biggest adventure, which is at my home. I'm a father of 3 beautiful girls, and I have 4 women at the house, and that's really an adventure for me every day. And I'm also on a mission, and that's the mission of Jump Ventures. We help companies, founders, and founding teams get to hyper growth. Yeah. So as Patrick mentioned, we have mentored and coached actually in the time frame of 2 years over 100 companies. We really try to understand how we can help businesses get to the next level, and we have a very big focus on e-commerce. Yeah, we try to help different businesses because they share many similarities, but we have a very big focus on e-commerce companies. So how do we do it? Basically, I'm a founder myself. It all started back in 2015. I founded a company with some friends from university called GoCase, and this company started in Brazil. We scaled this company very fast. It got to 8 figures, from 0 to 8 figures in 3 years. It was totally bootstrapped, and that experience helped us really understand how to grow an e-commerce company. And how? Basically, we committed 1,000 mistakes. We tried every single thing we could hear, advice, podcasts, whatever people told us we should try, we did, and we failed a lot. But trying those 1,000 things just gave us a very small subset of things that really moved the needle. We really understood, if we do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things right, we can get to significant scale. It doesn't matter. We don't need to do 1,000 things. We don't need to have 100 people. We can have a very small amount of people that will focus on a very specific task, and this is going to get us to the next stage. Yeah. So Jump basically has helped 6-figure businesses become 8-figure businesses. So small brands, small e-com brands are now getting to 8 figures because of the playbook, the network, the tools, and the people we employ. Jump as well is an atypical VC. So we invest in companies, but we also accelerate them. So we come in with our team, with our tools, with our processes, and we accelerate them. And we apply this in a process which is quite straightforward, but if you don't know what to do and you really haven't done this before, you won't get to the results quite fast. So I'm just going to run through the process quite quick, but today we're going to focus on the content strategy. Yeah. So first we start with the growth strategy, is having the mental picture and the plan. If you have a business that is 1 million, how are we going to get it to 10 million within 1 year? Which channels we have available, which portfolio of products, which revenue buckets, which tech systems we have. So how can we actually foresee, based on our experience and all the data we have available, to get this company to a 10 million revenue level? Second, we focus on the content strategy, which is how are we going to create a content machine to constantly spit out amazing content, impactful content that will have results. Third, this is the fuel for the engine, it's the commercial plan. So how do we think about product release calendar, merchandising, pricing, bundling? How do we have a whole set of commercial strategies to actually get the company to the next level? Fourth, financial structure. This is something that almost every entrepreneur that I mentor and coach completely oversees it, is how to optimize the P&L, how to think about the unit economics, how to think about cash flow, and how to finance its own growth. So people really get into business and they get excited and they start making sales, but if they don't think a little bit ahead, they are getting to an unsustainable or unscalable system. Yeah. Fifth, the data and tech stack. So we are very peculiar and we're very data driven. So we implement our reporting, we have our tech stack that we implement in every company, and we have our attribution models and etc. to make sure that we're taking the right decisions. Every decision we take is very backed on data. And last but not least, we are in Europe, and we have European companies, Australian companies, US companies, and if we see that it's a fit to actually internationalize because they reach the cap, or it's just too constraining on the specific market, or the scale is in another market, we internationalize them. But this is really the last step, yeah? So we really know where we want to focus. Now, before we scale anything, we think about product market fit. And the formula for product market fit for us is very basic. It's comprised of 4 KPIs. It all starts with reviews. So it's funny how you don't hear that enough, but having a really good level of reviews, and I say 4.7 out of 5, 4.8, 4.9, is the basis for you to be confident, hey, this product, this company has done things in a way that people love it and they're going to buy it again no matter what we sell. When you're at the 4, maybe you don't really realize, but when you're a 4 out of 5, 4.2 out of 5, there's something off, either in the product, the experience, the shipping, whatever it may be. But it's really painful if you try to scale that company and it's really not in a high level of reviews. Second, repurchase rate. This is the fat layer of profitability that will ensure your sustainability. We don't believe in companies that have to acquire new customers every month, that this is the main source of growth. It's new customers, new customers, new customers. You need that layer of profitability to make sure you're building a sustainable business and it's going to be profitable overall. Yeah? Third, AOV. We scale companies that are demand generation companies and not demand capture. Demand capture is Google businesses. Demand generation is Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, the kind of businesses that you can really push an idea, push a product, and you can convince someone to buy it immediately or in a very short time frame. And if you are playing this game, you know that it just keeps getting harder and harder every year, every quarter. There's ups and downs, and CPMs keep going up, competition keeps going up. If you don't have the right AOV to back it up, you're never going to be profitable. It's as simple as that. Yeah? And it doesn't mean that you need to be at this level right now, but you need to see and you need to strategize a plan that you can introduce products, that you can introduce bundles, that you can introduce a way that you're trying to go above 50. And last but not least, conversion rate. This is our thermometer. If you're a brand that makes around $1 million, we believe that 3% and above conversion rate is good enough to say that you have a buffer to still push new channels, new products, new content, new traffic, and you still have room to make mistakes. If you are at 1%, then it's already very tight. Then you have to spend a lot of money to still see if you're going in the right direction or not. Yeah? So the key for us is having product market fit. This is where everything starts. If you don't have product market fit, scaling is going to be very painful. Believe me, I've done it. It was not fun. You keep going back and forth because there's something wrong with the product, because the customers are not receiving the products because of the shipping, because you don't have the unit economics right. There is something off, yeah. And scaling this is really complicated, yeah. But it's also a big learning curve. Now, let's talk about our use case. The case that we basically grew the company all the way from 1 million to 20. They made 1 million revenues in 2021, and by November 2022, they were already at 20. Yeah. To give a little bit of background, this was an arts and craft brand that basically only had a founding team of 2. Yeah, they didn't have any employees. They had an array of freelancers and agencies and a couple of people picking and packing, but there was basically no team, so it was very lean. They had really high reviews, they had a pretty okay repurchase rate and a great conversion rate, but they had very low AOV. So we knew right out of the bat where we needed to focus. This AOV needs to change, otherwise we cannot be sustainable, and we have a good lead on the repurchase rate because we see, and they didn't see it before, that this can be much higher than what currently is. And last but not least, they were in constant decline since iOS 14, and they got to a level of 50K monthly revenues. Yeah? How I'm going to tell the story is basically separated into two parts. And this is all just tweaking and adjusting these 4 KPIs I told you about to make sure we were on the right track. The first part of the story is the e-com push, and the second part is the ads push. Now, the e-com push seems insignificant when you look at the ads push, yeah, because the blue bar is crazy, but this bit here is the basis to fix everything. Pricing, product launch calendar, CRM, making sure everything is right for when we do scale, everything is working. Yeah? So here we went from 50K to 450K basically. And then once we started here, we reached all the way to 6 million at this month. Yeah? So this was a crazy growth, and you can see the AOV, as I told you, growing month over month to make sure that we accommodate profitability and many other things. Yeah? And the CPA, even though we grow like crazy, we still achieve way better CPAs than we were having before we did the ads push. So this is the basis, and this is the big push. Now, where did this come from? Content. Again, amazing content will drive results. It's not about the channel, the structure, manual bidding, lowest cost. Like, if you don't have the content, it was not, you can have the best. Mark Zuckerberg can be making your ads and have the best structure in mind and put that, but it's not going to work. If the content's not there, it's not going to work. So the yellow line separates the content machine starts, yeah? So before you see our CPAs in the upper graph, really at the high level and completely decreasing afterwards. And even though we have a crazy amount of spend compared to what we had before, the CPAs keep stable. And why is that? That's quality of content, and this is what you see in the graph below. The CPMs will tell you how much Facebook is grading the quality of our content to be shown to 1,000 people. And the CPC will tell you, okay, how much cheaper is it getting to get that traffic. So this effect here basically is grabbing way more quality traffic at a way bigger volume, because the CPC just keeps decreasing and I just keep spending more. Yeah? And how do we do this? Content machine. Very simple process, very easy to understand, but it's all about being true at making this output week after week, month after month, and keeping up as a retroactive process. We start with the creative assets. What do you have at hand? Influencers, UGC, freelancers, content team. How can they produce a high amount of raw clips, photos, raw assets so they can be turned into creative concepts? Us versus them, before and after, problem solution, testimonial, etc. So they can be tested and iterated in a big battle of content. So we take a lot of time to produce a lot of raw material. We think very deep with the team how to create different concepts. So we see which one is really going to resonate, and then we make them battle. And when I say make them battle, it's not like 10 creatives, it's like 100 creatives. We got to an average of some brands making 1,000 ads, 1,000 unique creatives within 6 months period. So it's really a lot, yeah? And this is the era that you find the early funnel KPIs, CTR, CPC, and CPM, which will show you what is your best bet to scale. So it's all a numbers game. The cheaper it starts, the higher the probability you're gonna get a cheap purchase. So we try to see which content is going to have the best CTR, best CPC, and etc. So we can then scale and then find hit. That's the hit content. It's that one outlier that is 5, 6, 7 times better than the average, and then we can scale like crazy in every channel, every structure, so on and so forth. So we call it the hit. And when we have a hit, we basically scale it to the moon. So I'll scale it to the max. And this process just keeps retroactively feeding each other, so we can create hit 1.1, hit 1.2, hit 2.0, because we have more insights. So the more we test, the more we can see, the more we find a path to creating hits. And I'm going to show you a little bit how this looks like. This is just the result, very clear result of before and after. So before we started implementing the content machine, just the first month after, you see we spend the same amount of money. We have a completely different level of CPC, so we're acquiring traffic for a much cheaper price. And you can see here the quality of this traffic. We basically have double thumb stop rate, double video completion rate than we had before. So this traffic is not only cheaper, but is more qualified, because the quality of this content is way better. So what we end up having is extreme impact on both the traffic, but also the sales. And how do we iterate and find those hits? If you have this table, and these are not, I'm sure you heard of thumb stop rate. If you didn't, the formula is 3 seconds versus divided by impressions. Yeah, and video completion rate is 100% video views divided by impressions. Yeah, so it just tells you how many people completed the video from the ones who saw it, and how many people stopped to watch the first 3 seconds, right? So we have these 5 KPIs: cost per 1,000 accounts reached, thumb stop rate, video completion rate, CTR, and CPC. In the test and iteration phase, we look at all of this content we have tested, and we start to see, okay, which one has the best one of these CTRs? Because then we can create a Frankenstein of an ad that will have the best hook, the best video completion rate, the best CTR, and we start having ideas. Oh wow, this one has 15% video completion rate. It has to be super high engaging. People really want to watch it to the end. But the best hook is that one, 50%. Can I just grab the first 3 seconds and put it in the same story? Because then I have a much better ad. But this one has the best thumb stop rate and also the best CTR. So what was said in this video? What was the CTA? What are the elements in the video that I can reuse and then put it in version 1.1? So we're basically constantly looking at this table of all the ads we keep testing and seeing which one has the best what, so we can mix together and come up with new versions. So this is very simple, and it just optimizes the early funnel of the ad that gives you higher probability to succeed later on. Now, not only that formula, but I'm going to give you 2 tips. We have a golden nuggets presentation later on that I have another tip, but these are very good tips for you to improve your ad creation process. TikTok has 2 tools, TikTok Creative Center, which you can see the latest trends on hashtags, creators, videos, songs, and sometimes you just need a refresh of the song, and you can refresh totally the creative. Just grabbing the most trendy song and put it in your best creative, or grabbing the most trendy filter or concept that is being done in the platform and try to replicate it for your product. And the second one is TikTok Video Insights. This is a really good trick. If you spend a little bit on TikTok, on all the ads in TikTok, it will show you the drop-off rate and the CTR on different frames of the video. So basically, this you do not see it on Facebook. Basically, you start seeing which parts of the video really incite people to click, which parts of the video get people to drop off. Once you start understanding those frames, you do the same thing I just showed you with the formula. I'm going to grab this frame and put it here, this frame and put it there. Because now you really know which parts of the video are the most impactful parts. Yeah? So we have videos of maybe 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes, and then we figure out with this kind of view which are the best assets of that video. And the second trick, which is one of the best tricks, we've done this full year, and you can try it immediately afterwards, is chatpdf.com. So chatpdf.com is basically, you can upload a PDF document to this website, and you're going to talk like you talk with ChatGPT, and you can start asking questions. So basically what we do is we upload all the reviews of the brands, and if you don't have enough reviews, you can also scrape customer reviews from your competitors and upload those there. And what you start doing is asking questions, right? What are the most unique phrases mentioned here? What are the most emotional reviews? What are the most talked sort of USPs? What are the things people appreciate? What are the things people don't like? What is the emotional side of the product? Okay, now compile all of that into one single review. Okay, now build me an ad script with 6 scenes that has maximum 8 words. Okay, now transform this into the same script, now the founder speaking. So this gives you so much material to create new briefs, new content, and really not get into, I've seen this scene too many times where you have a creative session with your internal team and you're just bouncing, ping-ponging ideas of what you could do next. But it's like no one is thinking about asking the customer, or how does he say it, what does he appreciate it, and you end up going in the wrong direction. Like you see this over and over, that people try to push features and not benefits. This is a big thing that you see over and over in the reviews, so I highly recommend it. Now let's get a little bit visual. So this is one of the creatives that we iterated hundreds of creatives, and we found this one to be the highest CTR, highest CPC. It was a kind of testimonial that had a problem solution storyline, and it was 2 minutes. But this was crazy scale. Like just to give an idea, after we start pushing this video has 50 million views on TikTok, yeah? And then we said, how can we do the next version? What can we do next? I was like, this is 2 minutes. Maybe we can just do a shorter version and we're going to achieve the same impact. So we went to TikTok Video Insights and we saw which bits of the 2 minutes were the most impactful. So we comprised that 2-minute video into a 30-second video. I'm going to show it to you.
I've never used a crochet kit like this before. Once I scanned the QR code, this is what I found. The fact that they started out for you makes it super easy. If this is your first time crocheting, they have video tutorials for every single step. They made this yarn. It's called Easy Peasy Yarn. It is perfect for beginner crocheters. Overall, I genuinely do love this product.
And kabam, we had even better results in the 2-minute video with this 30-second comprised version that is short and snappy. I say, okay, how do we do this again? And we go back to the video iteration board and we look, if we have footage that is even more impactful than this current footage, that had the highest video completion rate, had the best hooks, and maybe it's a different product, then we can push something new instead of the dinosaur. And voila, hit 2.0.
Never used a crochet kit like this before. Once I scanned the QR code, this is what I found. The fact that they started out for you makes it super easy. If this is your first time crocheting, they have video tutorials for every single step. They made this yarn. It's called Easy Peasy Yarn. It is perfect for beginner crocheters. Overall, I genuinely do love this product.
Again, amazing results, and it's simple, yeah? But it's simple once you see like the data layer behind why this is working in terms of engagement, CTR, hook ratio, so on and so forth. And this is a smaller variation, 1.1, and this is a bigger variation, 2.0. Now, if we do the same for photos, tested 100 of pictures, and for some reason this particular product with this particular background, highest CTR, lowest CPC. Worked like crazy, how can we do this again? Let's just do background changes. To be honest, it was okay, it was not amazing, yeah? And we went back and said, okay, this didn't work, what can we do next? Let's keep the purple stable and let's try to change the settings. Boom, this was really big. Like, this was way better than the first one. So once we got this different layouts, we could have actually two new hits, because we just kept the purple and we kept changing the setup of the product. And then we went a little bit more crazy, like, okay, if purple works so much, this product is working, what if we make a purple product? And then we make this for Halloween, and it was amazing. It was really off the roof, yeah? And it was a purple product in a purple background, cute enough, and then kabam, new hit, yeah? So you see, it's not rocket science, but once you have the step-by-step and you're thinking along the metrics, you can get to very impactful things with minimum effort, yeah? So, sorry for the formatting, got a little bit screwed up, but just to go back at the do's and don'ts here, don't rely on one type of creative, one type of concept. Keep trying to integrate photos, videos, problem versus solution, testimonials, really until you find the angle that is most strong for your brand. Don't be content with a couple of creatives per month. I really have seen founders say, oh, we have 10 creatives this month, 15 creatives. Dude, I'm talking about 100. I'm really talking about a lot. And if you're not able to do this as a high output every week, you're just not going to have the highest outcome as well. Third, don't create just on brand feeling. I've seen this a lot where you are in the team and we're just discussing ideas and ping-ponging ideas, and it's more or less the same. Use CTR, CPC, CPMs, and thumb stop rates to tell the creative people how you want the videos to be done. Don't do briefs only based on feedback of the team as well. Use external things like customer reviews, competitor reviews, influencer videos, and try to digest all of that now with AI. It's super easy. So you can have a much better outcome, much more on target. And fifth, don't create content without a target. Now, to say we need to create 50 content, that's not the target. The target is you want to create hits. Believe me, your creative team will love the idea that they are creating hits and they're going to search for the next one and the next one and the next one. It's not like, did we make 25 this month? Did we make 50 this month? No, did we have any hit this month? Because once they do, it's like a drug. Oh, I want to have another one. I want to create another one. Who created the one last week? So it's really important. Yeah, it seems simple, but it's very important. So scale is ultimately a content game, and it's also a numbers game. So the more you put out, the higher the probability that you're going to have a hit. And if you don't have amazing content, you won't have amazing results. So the result for this brand is quite simple. We went from a 50K monthly revenues to a 6 million by November. Went from a 36K monthly sessions to a 1.8 million. And we grew the company by 20x with our playbook. Yeah. So in a nutshell, just to summarize everything that was said in this presentation, and make sure we don't lose anything, there are 4 KPIs that can define the success of your scale, and this is reviews, AOV, repurchase rates, and conversion rate. This is the product market fit KPIs. You need to try to create a content machine to actually have impact, and you need to strive to always create hits. Yes? So, without further ado, thanks for your time. I hope you have learned a little bit of what you can do next week, today, tomorrow, and this can give you a next edge. If you want to talk with me later on, please feel free. If you want to scan the QR code, you can see our proposition. Patrick basically mentioned what we do is our funnel. We mentor and coach hundreds of companies or multiple companies within the year, and we do this actually on a pro bono base because we start a relationship by mentoring different companies, and later on, if we deem that is really interesting for us, then we go and we invest and we accelerate ourselves. But feel free to talk to me, and for the time being, let's jump. Yeah?
Woo!
Thanks.
Thanks, man. That's awesome.
Thanks.
A lot of value bombs here, and now it's time for a few Q&As. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Leonardo. Yeah.
Hey Leonardo, thank you for your speech. I really like the product. I think it's super cute, and like I thought like wow, you know. Did you try to also change the design of these creatures in order to maybe make them look a little bit more like something people associate already something to like a Pokemon without getting copyright infringement? You know, like kind of this. I think because like I see a big level of that, you know, not only the creators but like the product itself. You know, like what kind of, you know, when I see this, I think about like McDonald's, Happy Meal packages, and like more variety is also could also be important, right?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So there's two parts for your question. The first part is licensing. So we actually did a lot of licensing with this brand. After one, they are licensing Hello Kitty, a bunch of different brands. So it's really important for a brand that can go licensing, and they have something strong that they do it. Yeah. So licensing, we advise. And before you are big enough to do licensing, I know there's different ways to do licensing, but I advise once you are big enough, push for licenses. And the second thing is we have a trend radar for finding actually really good products as well. So it's not like, it's the thing I just tried to mention of not relying on what the team think is cool or what's their opinion. Like, okay, where's the data to back it up? Let's go to Google Merchant Center and see what are the top selling products that we have here for a certain category. Let's go to Etsy and see what are the top selling products for this type of category. So then you start seeing, oh, wait a second. People love dinosaurs. People love penguins. People love this. So you start to have similarities. Next product we should do is this one. So there's a product radar as well that we try to grab trends from different systems, and then we feed into the team, the next product should be this, or we should try that. And to be honest as well, before we try to release products, one of the things we do is test them on Facebook with a digital mock-up, just to see if we're in the right direction without having to do the whole thing from scratch. So there's several brands where we do a fake mock-up of the product before we actually purchase, manufacture, so on and so forth, just to see if it has a high CTR and really creates desire. And then, oh, now I test 100 products for a very cheap price instead of committing to manufacture those. Yeah, so we do this a lot actually.
Hey Leonardo, thank you very much for your keynote speech. It was very great. Do you think, or you're just working with products, or do you also work with consultings and services and so on in this growth plan that you're using? So do you think it's also possible to do it as a consulting company like we have for sales and so on in the same way?
Yeah, so we focus a lot on e-commerce brands because there are certain things that we reuse everywhere and we know they are very replicable, but the basis is the same. If you have a strong message that can be put into a content that can be advertised to the right crowd, in the right channel, it should work. It's not that much of this can be applied, but you need to think whatever service, whatever product, whatever thing you're trying to offer, you need to be able to convince people with the right message. It's just about testing the message over and over, understanding from the customer what does he want to hear, in which type of words, because sometimes we get caught up in saying, feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, and then he's trying to think in the emotional level, like, I want to feel secure about this, I want to feel relaxed about this, I want to feel that they have my back. So when you start putting those things in the messaging, then you have different results.
So you're saying TikTok is also a place to be with a consulting company and to test all this stuff and then to go bigger?
I mean, we always test TikTok with every brand we do. Yeah, I have to say that there's a younger crowd in TikTok, and you might have some skeptical results if you try something very different there, but we try everything. So I would say it's a very important place to try and to figure out trends or related stories. So one of the things we do first before we want to develop new types of concepts is let's go look at the hashtag of this type of category and see all the content with millions of views in TikTok, the ones with millions of views. If we find viral videos for that type of concept, let's make it. This is also a big part of the input.